How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all doing really well. If you had been holding Aterian stock this week, ticker symbol ATER or Ater, you most certainly are doing well. So as I have been looking into this week, Aterian stock has been subjected to a short squeeze. As a result, it has rallied consecutively higher for the past 5 days, gaining a total of 85% for the week, which in itself is hugely impressive. So as traders stop and take stock for how things have performed this week, the question has to be asked, will the short squeeze continue to rally during next week? And it is this question that this weekend's update is focused on. Obviously, I cannot say for sure one way or the other how this play is going to pan out on Monday and beyond, but with this video, I'm going to go through some stuff which I think may influence the outcome for how this stock is going to work out going forward. So let's get into it. So looking at this technical chart and keeping in mind that on Mondays, shorts still had an average of 2 days to cover, Monday still had a fairly strong rally, and the fact that the stock was able to hold up its position during Tuesday and Wednesday during a time when the market's sentiment was extremely low on the back of the concerns around increased rate with which rate rises may be introduced. Coming into Thursday and Friday, this is why I felt quite confident that the stock was going to run again. Thursday saw the next big move by the stock on relatively low volume, and then on Friday it really launched with a huge uptick in the volume of trade. The shorts seem to really be being squeezed at the moment, and probably we've seen a number already cover. Based on the volume, it seems to appear that the stock has got good support for the moment. However, the reversing declining trend in the MACD, while still showing a positive reading, is something I will be watching for next week. But given the fact that the stock has not given up much ground and the play was so positively supported on Friday, there is a good chance, I believe, we could see the stock continue to rally come Monday. Shifting to the aftermarket action, there does appear to have been a bit of a sell-off with the stock shedding 30 cents or almost 40% of its gains for Friday. While this is low volume stuff and probably a sign of short-term profit taking, it is still a significant decline for the stock, but I wouldn't be pinning this action to this particular play with huge significance, at least on its own. Now, looking at the retail chatter around the stock, there still seems to be growing interest with the stock, with Ater climbing to 4th on the most talked about stocks at the moment on Reddit. So the retail interest is definitely still there. And in terms of the short data underpinning the play, the average days to cover is a minute 0.14 days with a 61% borrow fee and still 31% of the float being held in outstanding short positions. So there is still good pressure for shorts to cover, and this alone is perhaps the firepower that is going to give retailers the faith to continue to apply pressure and push the stock further. In fact, for the first time this year, Aterian is now actually at the top of the fintel short squeeze candidates list, so it is well and truly clearly the play at the moment. Objectively speaking, I do believe there is still a short squeeze play here. However, despite these positive sentiments and technical indicators, you still have to ask what could work against the short squeeze effort. And I think there are two particular things that short sellers are banking on, at least in the future, and is worth keeping in mind. Firstly, as the type of play has become more popular, the duration for which short squeeze pressures can be applied by the retail scene seems to be waning. There are too many stocks promising to be the next GameStop. As a result, many of these such plays have been short-lived since GME. I think short sellers are banking on such a trend to continue to roll through again, though they have to be concerned that in the past, short squeeze efforts of this particular stock in the last 12 months have seen the stock run up to as much as $50 about 12 months ago, and also breached the $20 mark late last year. So from a historical point of view, this would be concerning for short sellers, while at the same time giving confidence for those playing the short squeeze, as the stock still is relatively lowly priced compared to these previous occasions. The other point of hope short sellers are probably clinging to is the fact that Aterian announced about a week ago that they were seeking a 17.5 million share capital issue, aka an equity rise, which when you consider that there are about 62 million shares currently floated, this would dilute the underlying net asset value by about 20% per share if it goes ahead, something that is sure to spook players of the short squeeze, especially if the sale price of the new securities is pegged to be lower than the elevated short squeeze price. So again, this is another factor to continue to monitor. All in all, not that this is investing advice, my thoughts are the stock has a strong likelihood to continue the rally into next week, as momentum is still well and truly on the side of the stock in terms of pressures on shorts, the still historically low share price, and continued strong retail interest. However, as the share price elevates and profit taking occurs, as well as the potential looming equity raise, I think we may start to see some cracks emerge in the effort and the retail crowd begin to disperse from the play. These are risky times. Make sure you are not wagering more than you can afford to lose. Anyway, that's about it for this one. Do you agree with my thoughts that we will likely see a continued run of Ater stock early next week? If so, how high do you see the stock running to? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, everyone, may the markets trade in your favour. Cheers.